From Working Title headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, it's ITRS with Jordan BDJ Taylor. Tonight's guest, recording artist and producer, Elon. And singer and songwriter, Randi with an I. And now for the host of ITRS, BDJ.
Expecting someone else? I see that. I am not BDJ. I'm the former host of ITRS, aka Inside the Rapper Studio. Score F Swayze, aka Fat Finesse Jr., aka the producer, aka the whole fucking show. BD is out on injury. He injured his leg chasing the bag. So I had to pretty much come up and recover for him. So with every episode of ITRS, there is a segment we like to call Wise Words from a Decent Man. I'm not a decent man, so I'm just going to spend this time talking about how much I love my friends. And not just my friends, but Finagle Park. For the past 12 years, I've been working within this amazing group of individuals and visionaries known as Finagle Park, whereas though all the work that we do, whether it's music, whether it's content, whether it's visuals, whether it's graphics, has come from the grand house of Finagle Park. But recently we all just scattered away like it's stardust. So I just wanted to take this time to tell everyone how much I appreciate them, especially them in their own right. Starting with Finagle Baby, one of the best, if not the best rappers in the city, in the world. Benjamin Banger, off top, one of the best producers, a visionary in its own right, a hardworking guy, does a lot of things with Twitch, pretty much streaming constantly. We're almost at affiliate status. Please support the bro. Got Taught to Nobody, an amazing mind when it comes to production and just hip hop in general. We have Burnout, pretty much the guy behind like the new sound of music nowadays. Not just rap, but just music in general, and just pretty much having that bravado within that kind of thing. And we got Kush, pretty much the amazing, like, I guess the secret weapon of Finagle Park with all the raps, even within Super Hood Bros. And huge shouts out to 6.5 God as well on production side as well. Yeah, we got the whole clan in here. Huge shouts out to Goodfellas, doing Sunday service all the time, streaming all the time with everything with beats in terms of Twitch, getting a lot of views, getting a lot of people in, putting in a lot of man hours to get things going on that accord. Yeah, hopefully I pray to God I'm not forgetting anybody. Huge shouts out to B4D as well. Shouts out to the whole crew. Shouts out to Tidal. Shouts out Beth Banger. Shouts out L Cook. Shouts out everybody over there doing their thing, making things work for the city, making things work for the community, all that stuff. Huge shouts out to Diesel Mac for being that boy. One of the best producers in the city as well. I'm pretty sure most of the stuff that I can do when it comes to like not just production, but just having that mind of sound or that ear for sound and having them push those vast boundaries when it comes to sound on that accord. He does a lot of work with that too, so huge shouts out to the boy. So yeah, I have no virtues, I have no wise words, I'm not a decent man. I just much rather tell the world how much I appreciate the people that's been around me this entire time. Of course, huge shouts out to BJ, you know, being the best host possible for the greatest show on these goddamn interwebs, which is known as ITRS. Huge shouts out to, of course, the Working Title podcast for even giving the presentation of ITRS within the working title headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland. If you can't tell, I'm the voice in the beginning. But yeah, huge shouts out to everybody for making this thing work. Yeah, we got a great show lined up for you. First off, we have the wonderful, mysterious Elon coming through. And after that, we have the songstress of the century, Randi with an I, coming through. So stay tuned. I'm going to be editing this thing. So you have a commercial. BD probably guesses it. He doesn't know when it's coming. But yeah, there is a commercial coming on right after this. If you want any ad space for the show, please let me know. There's plenty of space for commercials, plenty of space for advertising opportunities and stuff like that. I'm almost certain you're sick of seeing shit about like Telepathy Club. I don't care. It's my fucking platform. I'm going to throw that commercial in as much as possible until you guys start sending some commercials my way. So don't be afraid. Hit me in the DM. Hit BD in the DM. You can actually hit the iters.swayzetv Instagram in the DM. Throw me a commercial. I can make it work for you. Don't even sweat it. So coming up next on Inside the Rapper Studio, we have Elon. Please stay tuned.
Yo, score, Benjamin Banger, Tom here, congratulating you personally. I understand that you guys just finished an album called Telepathy Club, and it was inspired by Toonami and Mob Psycho 100. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have created.
Within this wonderful episode of ITRS, episode 7 to be exact, we have two great folk on the way. The first one is a great friend of mine and a great friend of the show. They've been doing a lot of great work within the area. Great sound, futuristic sound, if I say so myself. Granted, we're in 2021. They are in 2041 with the music. So I'd like for everyone to please give a great round of applause for the one, the only, Elon. How's it going, Elon?
It's going pretty good, you know.
So with every episode of ITRS, there is an origin story told. That's how long I've been doing this. I'm just screwing up all the time. There's an origin story told from the other side of the screen. So because you tell us all how everything got started for the artist we all know and love is Elon.
Basically, I like music, and I felt passionate enough to, pursue it at a really early age. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like music the same way most people like music, though. You know what I mean? I just like songs, but I'm kind of a nerd, so I like a lot of different music. I always kind of liked a lot of different music. So yeah, but at one point I was like, all right, well, I want to make songs. So I guess when I was like a teenager, I was like trying to write songs, but I was really into like new metal and stuff at the time. So I was making those kind of songs, or trying to write those kind of songs, but I didn't have no band or nothing, so it was just me by myself. But yeah, I started singing when I was really little, like probably like even like 5 years old or 4 or some shit like that. Yeah, I was just singing for a while, but then never really took it serious. And when I was like 13, 14, I started like writing songs and like making beats and stuff.
So I actually want to go into production because I felt like that's a very interesting take here. Within ITRS, there's usually the one person that just like, oh, I just rap, or oh, I just sing. Whereas though you pretty much are a walking Swiss Army knife of musical production. So talk to us about like your early stages of going into production, such as like what programs were you using, what's your influences in terms of like who you modeled your style after and things like that?
When I first started making beats, my dad had just came back. My dad is like a producer too, but like he like flop basically. But anyway, he he got all this like a music equipment stuff basically because he was trying for years to do it, but he just kind of gave up. And then once he saw that I was writing songs, he was like, oh, all right, well, maybe I can pick it back up and use you as like the like songwriter to my beats type shit. So I was always in his studio when I was like an early teenager. And then it got to a point of me just being like, well, let me try around, you know, and his stuff was real analog, like old big beat machines. It was like this big, like big ass things. Like everything was real funky, them big boards and big soundboards and stuff. And yeah, it was just like real old, like, I don't know, it was a real interesting moment. And the sounds that he had on his bank wasn't even really all that, but I was working with what I had. And I was making a lot of dumb, like cheesy, like R&B songs and stuff, because he was really like, we gotta sell a commercial hit. Like we gotta make a hit. If we're gonna be doing this, we gotta make a hit. We gotta make a banger. So I kept trying to write bangers for him, but it was really just like I was a teenager and I was young, so I didn't really have no experience to be writing from. You know what I mean? I didn't know the hell I was talking about. Trying to write love songs and stuff and just being like, whatever. So yeah, so then that kind of fell through eventually, and I started like going to my cousin's house and songs on Garage Band, and I did that for like years. And then when I got to like college, I basically was like, I'm gonna buy my own like computer equipment and download like Fruity Loops and all that stuff. And I started using Fruity Loops. Then basically just from then on, I just like kept like working on like learning as many programs as I could. So now from Fruity Loops I went to Logic. From Logic I went to Ableton, and then from Ableton I went to like Pro Tools, like doing this, like learning as much as I can, you know what I mean? So now I'm just like, I'm kind of versed in different programs. I can work my way around different things and make songs in different programs now.
It's very interesting to hear like a producer talking about the different programs that they use, whereas though like it's almost like gang activity or gang wars when it comes to certain programs, such as like FL does not fuck with Ableton, or Ableton users just don't do anything in regards to FL. So how does it feel kind of like hopping from like DAW to DAW and being comfortable within any type of space that you're in within these programs?
Once I realized that like different DAWs give you like different, like really unique kind of mixes, and like I could take a beat from like Fruity Loops and drop it into Logic and have a whole different kind of like compression mix thing going on, and then like add all these different kind of sounds that I would have never had in Logic. I like to just blend everything together. Like I like to make some loops and Fruity Loops, drag them over to Logic, make the melodic sound in Logic, drag it over to Pro Tools, mix and master in Pro Tools, stuff like that. I like to do that kind of stuff. Like it's real, like the process is all over the place. I just be like, everything. I feel like all the different DAWs have different things to offer. That I'm sure like if I was like, you know, like just really good and knew all my super technician shit, I could figure out how to make anything sound good in any DAW or whatever. But I think it's interesting to like kind of the whole copy and pasting process of kind of like of it all, just like taking it from here to there and like making this collage of sound basically, you know?
Gotcha. So I kind of want to dig into some of your catalog within the interview. And the first project that I wanted to talk to you about is Ronin. Ronin being the project that was dropped via Nina Pop, I believe. Could you talk to us about the process of making this piece of work?
I was going to Japan, like I was really just like really into like, at the time I was really just into like a bunch of like the like traditional Japanese art and stuff, and like I was like kabuki shows and shit like that. I don't know, I was really inspired by that at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Japan, like really immerse myself in the culture, like really like, and I was like taking samples and stuff. I think I had already started like one song before I even went. So when I came home, it was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna like, just kind of like, but make a little story. Like, I felt like while I was there, I was kind of like making this kind of folklore up in my head about just character that I could tell a story about sonically. Yeah, so when I came home, I just basically started working on that. That was back in like 2015, and I released Ronin in 2016. And I kind of like TBH. It wasn't like, I wish I could have worked on it a little bit longer, but like the people I was working with, like they gave me a little bit of time constraints, so I was kind of like working within like these like, you know, these bounds or whatever. But it was cool. And it was like, you know, that was like the first body of work I ever really pushed, and like, you know.
But another song that you did, which is a favorite of mine, is Yesterday. And with the song Yesterday, there was actually a pretty much a crazy storm, a crazy, I guess, what's the word, pushing of Yesterday, because there was a brand behind Yesterday. Talk to us about the brand behind Yesterday.
Oh yeah, Coach. Yeah, me and Coach did a little collabo, and they ended up Yesterday. It was cool.
So how did that collab come about? Like, was there like an email, or was it just more so like a, hey, we like this song, we're just gonna take it here and just go with it?
Okay, so basically, I got a manager recently. I did like this, you know, IMVU.
Yes.
I did like a show through IMVU. Basically, I made a little character that was like playing my songs and performing on IMVU.
That's tough
people.
as a bitch.
Yeah, so this guy from the UK or some shit saw that and was like, "Oh, I want to be your manager," basically. And then he was like, "Now I'm gonna immediately start working for you." Like as soon as we started talking, like he was hooking me up with like gigs, and like he was putting me in the studio with like producers who I like and listen to and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, all right, this nigga really makes sense. Oh, he really like doing the thing." So the next thing you know, he was like, "Oh," because I let him hear Yesterday when we first started talking. He was like, "Do you have Yesterday?" Because he was like, I've been sending Yesterday out to all my like label friends and stuff or whatever, whoever like I got connects to, and like some people are responding and being like, oh, they want to use it for stuff, and we haven't even dropped it yet. So would you be okay with that? And I was like, oh hell yeah, what? Especially they better pay me the fuck. But so yeah, so they hit me up and they was like, give it to us with no beat. We don't want no beat. We don't want no beat on it. So I gave it to them with just like the instrumental, like with the melodic sounds of me singing over top. And then they was like, oh yeah, we love this. And then they was like, okay, can you give us a version with the beat at the beginning? And then like it cuts in half, and then the part with no beat coming in the second half or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I re-edited it, made it sound like that. We just went through a bunch of editing processes until we basically arrived on the final version, was basically like the normal version of the song that it ended up being like, actually, the normal version that you sent us in the first place was actually good. Like, like, oh, okay. So we just ended up going with the normal version that I made. So yeah, it was cool.
What was
I'm hoping I can get more jobs like that.
Absolutely. Like, I think the first time I saw that, of course, is middle of the quarantine, and I'm just working on like regular episodes of like Inside the Rapper Studio. Then I just saw like the pop-up on the timeline where like, yeah, Elon, I got a song on Coach. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? How the hell does Elon have a song on Coach? And then it's just like a whole like storm of like comments and compliments. What was the reaction to everybody like getting to the song with Coach with the placement there?
It was my friends reacted to it pretty positively, so that felt good. But me and like my management, like we were like low key like hoping that they would like push it more or something, or like be like more like the song is by this person. It was just most basically just like music Elon. It's just like, and then my song is playing on the thing. It still kind of went under the radar to some extent, but it's still people like still hearing it. Like it's weird.
Without you leaving, I definitely have to know, is there any last words, any last promotions, any last propaganda for the people?
My birthday is coming up next month, so I might just drop something that's not Yesterday first, just because I'm just like, I want to release something because it makes me feel good to share music to people. I don't know, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, cool. Well, as always, it's always a great conversation to have with you, Elon. I really appreciate everything you've been doing so far, and I definitely appreciate.
I appreciate this. This is great.
Don't sweat it. I always got to reach out for folks. You know, back in the day, with that like Kai and Barry house, where everybody was just making music there, and we always making music there, and all been connected there. So you know, once there's a platform, we put our favorite people on that platform. So this is me putting my favorite people on the platform.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Coming up next on ITRS, we have the wonderful Randy with an I. We're going to be talking about a few things such as working with Franca Mueller Paz. I feel like I'm butchering. Franca Mueller Paz. I've been butchering shit since I got back on. This is why I'm behind the scenes now. Also talking about her work within Infinity Knives and Loris. So be right back with a short, quick commercial break, and then we will return with ITRS.
What up? Sean Ski in the place to be. Yeah, this is Sean Ski in the place to be. What up? Sean Ski in the place to be. What up? Sean Ski in the place to be. Watching me, 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 watching. Them niggas watching, hoppers running from the cops.
ITRS is brought to you by Swayze TV. It's just fucking television. And Working Title Podcast. Catch all new episodes 11 a.m. every Monday morning. Back to the show.
And we are back. Welcome back to the most illustrious show on the planet, aka YouTube. ITRS, refurbished from inside the Rapper Studio. I am not BDJ. I wish I was. I am the executive producer of ITRS Score F Swayze, the brain and the only man behind Swayze TV. BDJ is out with a leg injury, so we are going to sub him out with the guy. Coming up next, a great musician, if I do say so myself. They've been working on a lot of things within the past year or so, also putting in a lot of work, even during quarantine, because we're just that goddamn good. And if I do say so myself, pretty swell lady. So I need everybody to shout out. I need everybody to shout out, drop hearts, drop likes, drop comments, as if it's IGTV still, for the one, the only, Randy with an I.
Hello. What's up?
How's it going, Randy?
It's going great. How are you? What's
I
up?
can't complain. Just another day to make some goddamn content.
You know, I like
so,
that. Yeah.
With every episode of ITRS, there is an origin story told from the other side of the screen. So could you tell us all how everything got started for the artist we all know and love as Randy with an I?
Shit, how did it get started? Can I cuss? Can I cuss here? I don't know how to win. Okay, great.
I
Awesome.
encourage you to cuss.
Wonderful. I love to cuss. How did it start? Honestly, like, I've been doing this music shit since I was like a kid. Like, I have a very musical family. Both of my parents were musicians, were vocalists. Like, my dad is like a house legend for real. So like I grew up around like a lot of music just forever from day one. But I picked up a guitar when I was like, I want to say maybe about 14. And my mom had actually brought it for herself. And I was like, you're a grown up, you're busy, give me this. So like I took it and like I taught myself in the wrong key, because it's supposed to be like tuned to E, but I had mine tuned to E sharp. No, not E sharp, F sharp minor, actually. Yeah, it was a fun little time. But yeah, it started like 11 years ago for real. I just started like playing guitar, and before that, like I was playing piano. Like I had been like classically trained since I was like little. So like I always just had like a love for music and like used it as just a portal to express myself and just like a channel to really just like get some stuff out, because I haven't always been the best at like using words to do it. So like sound has definitely been like much more of a coming together, I feel like we can like understand each other a little better through like music and stuff. Like, but yeah, it's been for a minute. And it got started. I started writing, and yeah, playing, open mics, just random little like features at stuff. Like when I was about like 16, I got like hip to the scene. What used to be Wind Up Space, which is now a completely different spot. Rituals, yes, I love Rituals. Shout out to Joseph, like shout out to everybody that was on. But yeah, like it's just been really cool. Like I feel like I've experienced a lot of love through music and a lot of like growth and like being able to like do what I do and the way I do it for real. So it's been cool.
It's great to have like that pretty much branch of music, or I guess
Mm-hmm.
nest of music. Music is a better term, where you're like set within a house with a musician for like family, and to kind of like get those like learning keys out the gate.
For
So
sure.
could you tell me like the musical things that you've learned from your parental figures?
Um, I feel like a lot of my ear, like being able to like harmonize and stuff, like came from my parents. Like I grew up like in church, like everybody else, and like both of my parents were like ministers of music and like praise and worship leaders and stuff. So like I was always at somebody choir rehearsal. So like I feel like they really taught me like my ear and like how to like hear and how to like fill chords up for real. Like the sounds to go for. Like it taught me how to like I feel like I learned from them how to like create more than one sound, like being able to like hear it in your head and like pick out, you know, what sounds make up the chord like all together. I feel like they taught me that because like we used to sing together like in the house a lot, like just like it was just very musical all the time. And like somebody was always singing, and somebody always had a gig or a show or like something all the time. And like it was always just sound. And I feel like they taught me a lot of like blending and complementing sound and like what kind of like tones I liked and like what kind of chord styles I liked and like just like getting me hip to just even different genres for real. Like I feel like my parents got me like, you know, because like I said, like my dad's like a house legend or whatever, but like I kind of the whole time my mom was pregnant with me, she was like recording a house album and shit with Jasper Street. So like I feel like those like chord progressions and like that kind of like fullness and like just the spirituality behind this, like the frequencies of the sound for real. I feel like they taught me like you can really feel something by just like hearing it. Like you can really have a whole like spiritual reaction to just like some notes for real. Like it's like house music that like really like hits you in your soul for real. And like I feel like through them I kind of like connected spirit and music because like it started out like through church, but like as I got older and like, you know, went away from church and shit, and, you know, began to think for myself, like it turned into more of a art thing and just like, you know, sound art. I feel like they made me like, well, they kind of like opened this gateway for me to just see music as this like medicine for real instead of just something that like you just listen to on the way to work. Like seeing music as really just like expressive tools, seeing music as therapy, seeing music as church, seeing music as like spiritual renewal and not just like something to like pass the time or like do chores to all the time. Like it can be that, but like it taught me how like they both taught me I feel like the real just like grip it can have on your soul for real, like if you let it, and like the stuff that's out here to really connect to. I feel like I wouldn't be aware of that. I wouldn't want to like strive for that in my own music for real, like if my parents didn't get me hip at a very, very, very young age.
Shout out to the peoples, of course. Shout out to the parents.
Yeah.
I want to dive right into your own legacy, which you've been building for quite some time right now. And part of that legacy is with Infinity Knives and Loris. Talk
Mm-hmm.
to us about how you've been working with these bands and how the relationship has been with these groups.
All right, well, yeah. First, well, Loris is like the Infinity Knives band. We just like renamed ourselves because we have like it's not just us two no more. And like since we have like our drummer, shout out to Dave Jacober.
Shout out
But
to Dave.
Shout out to Zive. But yeah, so me, Infinity Knives, and Dave are all like Loris together now. But it's been crazy. Like it's been like crazy, like good. It's teaching me so much. Just like when you have like, because all of us have our own solo projects, and like we've been working as solo artists, and we've also worked with bands. But like this is like was our first time coming together like this, and we've been together. Let me see. It started with me and Infinity Knives. And that was like 2016, I want to say. Then we were going for a couple years, and then we were like, hey, we need some more sound. We need to fill it up, really add to this like rock shit, really make it punk. And like we added our drummer Dave, and like we've been going for I think like 2 more years. So altogether, it's been about 4 years for real. But yeah, like we just put our self-titled album out back in, I want to say like, crap, I can't even remember when we put it out. But couple months ago, it's on Bandcamp, you know, LORIS, shameless plug. But like, but yeah, like it's definitely like taught me a lot when it comes to working with like other artists who already have like their own styles and like their own like set of capacities, and like everyone has their own vision. And it's like when we come together, it's never really been like too hard for us to like gel and just move on with the stuff. Like when we're like putting our songs and things together, like it's always very just like natural. Like it just has like this like pace that it falls into for real, where it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I'll be looking up and we got like 6 more songs done. It's been super cool. Like we've been on WTMD, we were on like Hit Parade with Sam Sessa. Actually my solo album actually made like top 10 of the end of the year on Sam Sessa's thing. So like that's pretty excited about that. Thank you, Sam. But yeah, like we were both, you know, pre-COVID, pre-Rona, we were like putting together like a tour and stuff, and you know, just like a cute little East Coast thing, and just like getting ready to do that. I would still love to do that, but of course, like touring is about to look really different for everybody. So like, who knows? But
We'll let the first people step out, then we'll judge it afterwards.
Exactly. I'm so sad. I don't know why she keeps calling me. Jesus.
I keep seeing these laughing. Yeah, because like that was the first time I'm like, what's going on here?
I forgot that was on my girl. But yeah, it's like literally yeah, like I'm not even like gonna lie, like everybody has like their stuff for real. Like, have we always seen eye to eye? No. Do I be pissy? Yes, of course. Duh. But like, I feel like that's just like band dynamics. Like, it's not like, I feel like it's not a dysfunctional thing. It's very like familial. Like, we like may have a disagreement or may have like a misunderstanding, and just like by the time we work through it, it's just like it's all cool again, and like we're able to create. And like that's how it happens with like family. That's how it happens with friends. That's how it happens, you know, artistically. And yeah, like they are definitely like, they like my bros. Like they be getting on my freaking nerves sometimes, but like literally like some brothers do though. Like not even in a way of like actual like issues. That's why I'm like I'm grateful for them. I feel like they teach me a lot. Like they teach me like just that like, you know, people are still people. Like we have like all these like gifts and stuff that like people like really laud us for, and like all these accolades and things. But at the end of the day, like no matter how gifted, talented, capable, famous, noted the person is, like it's still people, and we still all got our shit for real.
I actually want to dive right into the solo work that you've done, which is portfolio in parentheses drafts. Which is one of my favorite projects that you've done. I've been listening for a minute, but like it really takes on its own accord and takes on its own type of like sound that really dives in deep on a personal level, you know.
Thank you.
So tell us about the creation and the works of making this project.
Okay, let's see. I was on, so you know like Beyonce with B-Day, like she like recorded all of B-Day in like 2 weeks. Like I was on like my B-Day shits for this, like because like I had like just gone through like a breakup, and I was like, you know what? I'd be damned if I sit in this house and just like do all of this, because like I have been trying, manifesting like an EP, some kind of like body of work to like release to people so I can, share it and so people can hear it and not like, have to like just come to shows. Like I did it like really, really, I probably wouldn't have released stuff if we could have kept having shows. But like, because like by the time summer hit, it was already like very deep corona. So like, I was like, you know what? I would like to share these vibes. I would like to get this message out. I would very much like to, just have something out for like even myself. Like I considered it a very, very huge milestone, because like I've been performing, like I said, since I was 16. I'm about to be 26. So like it's been 10 years. And like I haven't like been able to finally put it out. It was awesome. So like I recorded it in Elon's living room, and I stayed there for like 2 weeks for real. Like I would just always like pop up at his house and just like stay for that's like one of my best friends. Yeah, like we recorded it, and it just all seemed like it happened super, super fast. Like I feel like I had written these songs years ago. So like I've been performing them for years. So I was already super comfortable with them. So it was really just a matter of like cutting, recording, looping, redoing, adding any kind of like harmonies and stuff. And so like, yeah, like it wasn't really a hard process because it felt very regular. It felt very natural. And it had taken so long because like I had recorded that EP probably about 6 or 7 other places since like 2015, and I never released anything else because like I didn't like it. Like I liked it, but it didn't make me feel what I was waiting to feel. It didn't make me feel like that like rise of space like behind my chest. Like it didn't make me feel that very like that piece I feel when I'm performing. I didn't feel that listening back to any of those. And it was because like recording them I wasn't comfortable. I was in like very formal studios, or like like with like creepy producer niggas like just like but like just like not comfortable. So like being at like one of my best friends' house for real, like it just seemed like I was just playing, and I was able to really get comfortable and, get into my emotions and really express what I wanted to with the song, because like I was in a safe space for real.
Person that's been really grateful for your work as of late, if I could say so myself, has been Franca Mueller-Paz. You've recently done a bike party, whereas though you're in a mobile area and performing on I want to say a loading truck.
Yes,
performing on a loading truck, riding around the
yes.
streets for Franca Mueller-Paz. Tell us about that experience, because that's out of this world.
Okay. First of all, screaming at white people in Mount Vernon is amazing. Okay, reparations, 1. I felt like it felt amazing to take the streets back for real and like remind the people around how much like power they have for real, and let people know that 1, like it's time to vote. Okay, because a lot of people didn't know, and like that it was like people being affected merely blocks away by your action or lack of action. And like I feel like doing that whole thing, like it was really something like Rockstar Dreams for real. Like it was amazing. Like when we first pulled off, I thought I was gonna fall off, but like I like situated myself and was able to like do what I needed to do, because like it was definitely like a loading truck like wagon situation. It was sturdy for sure, but like my balance is like nah. So it was wild. But I was able to like keep my foot in everything. I don't know how in the world Dave played drums on there. I have no idea how Tariq played like guitar and everything, but like we did it while we were moving, and it was like we were moving actually like pretty fast on some parts too. Like it was not at all like it wasn't like no little float or nothing. Like
wasn't there like a downhill area too?
Yeah, a little bit. It was definitely like So yeah, I was like, okay, like I don't know if I should have brought like a helmet or like a seatbelt or like something. I don't know. But yeah, like it was cool. It was safe. Nobody fell. Nobody injured themselves. But yeah, just the overall screaming into a microphone attached to a megaphone attached to more speakers. Like I very much love to take up space. I specifically love to take up Black space in white areas. It was amazing to be there with my little Cherry Hill self in this very gentrified area with, you know, this very one specific demographic of people who usually would not interact with me had it not been for, you know, this event. So yeah, I was like, I got a couple shits to say. And yeah, like we definitely got their attention, got to support Franca. And like I think like Josh Stokes did one like not too long after. Like I really like appreciate the way that Franca is like, you know, doing community outreach and really getting people's eyes back where they need to be, getting people's attention back to like, you know, what matters for real. But yeah, it was cool. It was definitely awesome. It was one part, oh my God, it was so funny. And I love my sisters. Like I love my sisters so much. Oh my God. We were turning the corner and there was, you know, a brunch party and it's like, you know, a big group of like beautiful Black women. So as I'm turning the corner, like I'm doing all my screaming, they was turning around like, oh, like what the fuck is that? I heard one of them go, oh, it's a Black girl. Everybody started going crazy. And like we was like moshing, like it was great. Like I love that for us. Like love that for us. Just like the support. Like especially like in these areas. Black support in Mount Vernon, like yeah, for sure. But it was awesome. Like I would love to do it again, something like it again. Have that like experience even in like different areas. I feel like that's a great way to like do like community outreach and really get people's attention. Cause like, you know, like I said in the beginning of this, like what better way to communicate than through music? Like if we were walking around on a little wagon, like just like doing some speed shit, like I'm very sure that would not have flown. No one would have been interested. But like, well, not as many people, I should say, not no one. But like, yeah, it was amazing. Whoever thought of that, whoever's marketing idea, shout out to you. You did a great job.
Shout out to
But
them and
yeah.
shout out to you, Randy. Thank you very much for even being on this platform of ITRS. Before we wrap up, do you have any last words, any last promotions, any last propaganda for the people?
Oh, okay. So the next Bandcamp day is February 5th. By then I will have a 3-song project out. It's just gonna be a little acoustic thing. I know. It's good. But
I never heard anybody do that in real life.
I practice daily. But yeah, like it's just a little quick little 3-song thing for $5. Just me and the guitar. And like I feel like people thought that this first album was gonna be just me and guitar and it was like a little more like instruments and everything, but this is definitely like straight acoustic. And yeah, very much like feels. I haven't titled it yet, but yeah, so that's coming in February. I'm in the process of recording that. I just got a mic for Christmas. And yeah, I want merch to come soon, but I'm not super sure. But the main thing, 2-5, the next piece. Randy Withani Part 2, whatever I would decide to name it on Bandcamp. But in the meantime, everybody can definitely go to my current Bandcamp and like, you know, Randy Withani, or if you want to hit Love Loris, if you want to hit up both, because I feel like my solo stuff is very chill, indie, emotional, spiritual, and Loris is very much like punk rock, metal, fusion sounds. Like it's a lot louder, it's a lot more confrontational. And yeah, it's super different, super different vibes. So still beautiful. It's all a fun time.
Absolutely. Well, I have to thank you personally, Randy, with an eye for all of your work and all of your contributions, not just within music, but within the Baltimore music community. I feel as though that the groundwork that you laid out for
singers coming up within the community is pretty much a great path to walk. Also have to thank you for your work within Lawrence, which is pretty much like a very avant-garde thing within the Baltimore music community, because the only thing you would hear is just straight up like a rapper, singer, producer, that's it. Now that we actually have a band to have like surrounding these sounds and surrounding this support, it's something to kind of broaden our horizons within the community. So for that, I have to thank you personally.
Oh, thank you. Jeez Louise, thank you for having me. This has been awesome. Jeez, so fun.
Next week, I don't know who we'll have. I mean, I'm the producer, but I don't fucking know. But nonetheless, we will have another episode for next week for ITRS. So, from your executive producer, Score Swayze, and from our wonderful guest, Randi and I, once again, thank you very much for being on the show. I would like to tell you guys, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that YouTube shit. And yeah. So, from me, Score Swayze, and from Randi Withani, I'd like to tell you guys thank you. And as always, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay in the house.